Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Steeply. This week I have the third and final tea that I picked up for my cup of tea. It's their Pu-erh. It's 5 years aged. It's really awesome. I actually had a vote on Instagram as to which tea you wanted to see first, and you guys chose the red lychee, which I reviewed 2 weeks ago now. Then it was followed with the Silver Needles white tea, and now finally the Pu-erh. So I tend to do that occasionally, and I want to start doing it more on my Instagram, so you can follow me there. I'm at Alex Kaza. I'll post a photo and have you guys vote on which one you want to see, which order you want the videos to come out in, stuff like that. I think it'll be fun to start doing a lot more of. So anyway, to the tea. If you guys aren't familiar with Pu-erh, I actually did a review on a David's Tea Pu-erh that they have, which I'll put an annotation somewhere on the screen, which you can go back to, and it'll show you a little bit more about what Pu-erh is, kind of the process behind it. Now this one here, like I said, is a 5-year aged Pu-erh tea directly from China, imported here into Montreal, which is really, really cool to see. So I'll put a link in the description as always to this particular tea. You can pick it up in their 100-gram cup, which is packaged absolutely nicely. I never actually had the packaging on the show before, but I absolutely love their design, so you should definitely go check them out. So now to the tea. For those, like I said, that aren't familiar with Pu-erh, I put the video on the side here, but it's not something that many people will like, I don't think. It's very, I guess the best way to describe it is pungent. It has a very earthy tones, it's super rich tasting. That's what Pu-erh is known for having a very eccentric sort of bacteria-infused flavor, which is exactly how they make it. This particular one is high in caffeine. It's a black tea, so you'd expect that pretty much. To brew it, boil the crap out of your water, throw it in, let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. You will make yourself a perfect cup of Pu-erh pretty much any time, unless specified otherwise. Some aged Pu-erhs might be more delicate to brew. Whatever it may be, just definitely make sure you read up on that particular brand or blend that you're getting and see what the appropriate times are. So I guess let's get to the actual guts of the show and get to the smelling and the tasting then. Right off the bat, immediately you pick up the tea, you put it to your nose, it's rainforest territory. You're trudging through the mud, you're sniffing the leaves that have been semi-rotted. That's how you describe Pu-erh pretty much in a nutshell. It's a musky, dark, dense forest with very on-the-nose natural smells. It's pretty much the best way I can describe it. There isn't really much more to it than that. It doesn't smell sweet, it doesn't smell bitter, it just smells musky. That would be, again, the only possible way I can attempt to describe Pu-erh. Taste-wise, pretty much exactly the same. It's dirty, it's heavy, it lingers, it's an interesting flavor profile to have in a tea. It's not something that many people will enjoy. I can definitely say that. I myself have a hard time enjoying pure Pu-erh a lot of the times. It's a very eccentric, sort of unique flavor to it. It's dirty, it's grimy, it's leafy in a interesting way. It's rotted, basically. And again, that's part of the experience of Pu-erh, is you're getting an aged, sort of attacked microbially tea that has been left to sit for X number of years. So you won't really expect much from it. It does have its definite upsides. It has a slight bit of sweetness to it, but it's really barely noticeable. I would maybe recommend throwing some agave nectar in there, something along those lines. It'll help ease you into the experience. This isn't a tea I drink often. I drink it very occasionally when I'm really in the mood for something kind of bitter, dry, just unique, something that you won't really get otherwise. And yeah, right away on the front palate, it's dense, it's interesting. You get hit with a wet leaf sort of flavor, and then right away in the mid palate it expands into something that's more like walking around in nature after it had just rained. That sort of interesting smell that encompasses the air and just it's almost infatuating in a way. You can't hate it. it's weird. If you're someone who likes nature style things, you'll probably really enjoy Pu-erh a lot. It has, again, a very complex flavor. There's levels to it that I can't even discern the difference of. It's a very layered tea. It's something that every tea drinker should experience at least once in their life, just so you can see how different teas can taste depending on how they're manufactured and where they're coming from and where they're grown and things like that. Pu-erh is definitely sort of known as having a similar taste, but it's still different based on location that it's grown. So I would definitely give it a shot just so you can see what it's like. Again, link is in the description to purchase this tea. You can look for local vendors in your area. Just try and make sure you're not getting screwed. It's possible that they'll try and sell you maybe a fake aged Pu-erh, say it's aged for 10, 15 years, charge you a lot of money for it, and then it's been ripened instead of actually being properly aged. So that's something to definitely look out for. Other than that, I don't really think I can say much more about this tea. It's something, yeah, I don't really think I can say anything more about this tea. So as always, if there's a tea you want me to review, if there's something that's interesting to you, whether it's a product or anything tea related really, feel free to leave a link in the comment section down below. You can hit me up on Twitter. I'm on there as well, @AlexKaza, same as my Instagram. Comment on my stuff, let me know, point me in different directions. You can post an RT as well if there's a really cool vendor that you like. Share your tea experiences with me and I'll try and get to them. I'm also thinking of doing a small Q&A video regarding tea, so whether that's how to brew it, what I use, how I shoot the show, anything along those lines. Again, send them in through Twitter, on Instagram. I'll maybe make a thread even in RT, which I'll link to in the description if I do in fact do that. The video will probably come out in a week or so. I have a review that I'm doing next week that I think you guys might like. It's very interesting and I'm happy that I got in contact with this particular company. As always, thanks a lot for watching this week's episode of Steeply. See you guys in the next one.